"Don't stand near me at the gym. You'll embarrass me in front of the fit girls." Those were the exact words Ryan said to me 6 months ago, loud enough for 3 women on the Stairmasters to hear. I stood there in my size 12 workout clothes, holding the protein shake he insisted I drink, watching him walk over to the squat rack where a 23-year-old Instagram model was warming up. That was the moment I finally understood that no amounts of weight I lost would ever be enough for a man who saw women as before and after photos. Stay with me, and I'll tell you how I spent 2 years with a narcissist who disguised emotional abuse as caring about my health, and how his steroid-fueled downfall became my freedom. Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Mitchell, and I'm 29 years old, living in Chicago. This story ended 6 months ago, but I needed time to understand what really happened to me. I need to share it because when I was frantically Googling "boyfriend ashamed of my body" at 2 a.m., crying in my bathroom, I needed to read a story like mine, one where the woman realizes that the problem was never her body. If you're dating someone who makes you feel like you're never quite good enough, maybe my story will help you see what I took too long to recognize. I met Ryan Fitzgerald on Bumble in March 2022. I was 27, a marketing director at a tech startup, confident and comfortable in my size 10 to 12 body. His profile was what you'd expect. 6 photos, 5 of them shirtless, 1 token picture in a suit at what looked like his brother's wedding. His bio read, "Investment banker by day, athlete by lifestyle. If you can't keep up, don't swipe right. CEO of my own life. Flexing arm." I should have swiped left, but his first photo, the suited one, showed a genuinely attractive face, and I was tired of dating guys who thought ambition meant having a podcast. So I swiped right. His opening message was refreshingly normal. "Marketing director, that's impressive. I'm terrible at social media despite posting gem selfies like it's my job. Maybe you can teach me to be less basic." Self-awareness, humor, I was intrigued. Our first date was at a steakhouse in River North. Ryan showed up in a perfectly fitted shirt that made it clear he worked out, but he didn't lead with gym talk. He asked about my work, seemed genuinely interested in my recent campaign launch, and told funny stories about his analyst days at Goldman Sachs. "You're different from what I expected," I said over our second glass of wine. "Let me guess, you thought I'd be counting macros and flexing." "Your profile did scream gym bro." He laughed. "Fair, the gym is important to me, but it's not everything. I used to be really overweight as a kid, bullied pretty badly. Fitness changed my life, gave me confidence. Maybe I overcorrect sometimes." The vulnerability hooked me. Here was this gorgeous, successful man sharing his insecurities. When he said, "You're absolutely beautiful, by the way. That dress is stunning on you," I believed he meant it. For the first 3 months, Ryan was perfect. He planned thoughtful dates, remembered details about my life, and never once commented on what I ate. He'd mention the gym casually, like, "Heading to train, text you after," but never pressured me to join. He love-bombed me completely. Flowers delivered to my office with notes like, "Just because you're amazing." Weekend trips to Napa Valley where he'd photograph me constantly, saying I was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. Expensive dinners where he'd hang on my every word, asking about my day like my job was the most fascinating thing in the world. Looking back, I can see how calculated it all was. His apartment should have been my first clue. 7 mirrors strategically placed so he could see himself from every angle. His bathroom counter looked like a pharmacy. Protein powders, creatine, testosterone boosters, and what I later learned were actual steroids disguised as supplements. His phone contained thousands of selfies. I caught a glimpse once when he was scrolling, photo after photo of himself from different angles, different lighting, different shirts. The camera roll went back months, maybe years. But when I asked him to take a photo of me at my birthday dinner, he took one blurry shot without looking and said, "You look cute," never even showing me the result. The first subtle shift came when we were getting ready for his company's summer party. "Have you ever thought about trying Pilates?" he said, studying my reflection in his bedroom mirror. "You'd love it. Great for posture." "I may be," I said, thinking nothing of it. "I could introduce you to this amazing instructor. She completely transformed my ex's body." There it was, the first comparison. But I brushed it off, thinking he was just being helpful. That same week, while we were shopping for the party outfit, he said something that made my stomach drop. "That dress looked better on you last month. Are you stressed? You look a bit bloated." The comment hit like a slap, but he quickly followed it with, "Not that you don't look beautiful. I just noticed everything about you because I care so much." I started paying attention to how often he mentioned other women's bodies. At restaurants, he'd casually comment, "She's in great shape for her age. Natural or fake? What do you think? She'd be gorgeous if she just toned up a little bit." When I asked why he was always evaluating other women, he said, "I'm not evaluating, I'm just observant. This is how guys think. Would you rather I lie to you about it?" By month 5, the suggestions became more frequent. "This would look amazing on you if you just toned up your arms a little. You have such a pretty face. Imagine if you did some weight training. I'm not saying you need to change, but wouldn't you feel more confident?" The thing about people like Ryan is they're masters at making you doubt yourself. He'd say these things with such genuine concern, such loving worry, that I started to think maybe he was right. Maybe I would feel more confident. Maybe I was letting myself go. He bought me a $300 Lululemon outfit in size small for motivation, then took me to Nobu to celebrate my commitment to growth. When he mentioned his ex was a bikini competitor, he quickly added, "But I love that you enjoy food. Maybe too much, though?" Every criticism came wrapped in expensive gifts or special treatment. It's like he was conditioning me. Pain followed by reward, making me grateful for the brief moments when he wasn't picking me apart. He started replacing items in my apartment without asking. I'd come home to find regular milk swapped for almond milk, my bread replaced with rice cakes, my favorite ice cream gone. "I'm just trying to set us both up for success," he'd say when I noticed. The refrigerator became divided into Ryan's fuel and Lauren's choices, with little notes. "Remember, nothing tastes as good as fit feels, and your future self will thank you." But here's what really got to me. He'd devour 5,000 calories a day while monitoring every bite I took. He'd order 2 entrees at dinner, finish them both, then comment on my portion control when I wanted dessert. I have the metabolism for it. I earn these calories at the gym. I finally joined his gym, Pure Fitness in the West Loop. $200 a month, the kind of place where everyone looked like they'd stepped out of a fitness magazine. The locker rooms had more mirrors than a department store, and the air was thick with competition and judgment. Ryan transformed the moment we walked in. This wasn't just his workout space. This was his kingdom, and he was introducing me as his latest project. "Everyone, this is Lauren," he announced to his gym crew like I was a renovation he was excited to start. "She's beginning her fitness journey." I wanted to disappear. I'd been active my whole life, yoga, hiking, swimming, playing tennis in college. But to Ryan, if it wasn't happening in his weight room under his supervision, it didn't count. Watching him in the gym was like seeing someone perform their truest self. He'd strut between machines, checking himself in every mirror, taking selfies by different equipment. He knew exactly which angles made his muscles look biggest, which lighting hit his abs just right. 5 a.m. grind. He'd caption his morning workout stories. "Discipline equals freedom. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Most people quit when it gets hard. Champions double down." But the most revealing thing was how he treated me versus how he treated the other women there. When attractive women were around, he'd literally pretend not to know me. I'd approach him between sets to ask about dinner plans, and he'd say, "Can't you see I'm training? We'll talk later." Like I was some random person interrupting his flow. Meanwhile, he'd spend 20 minutes helping other women with their form, his hands guiding their movements, his voice dropping to that intimate tone he used to use with me. Kayla appeared around month 8, like she'd been waiting in the wings. 23, fitness influencer, 50K followers, everything Ryan claimed to want in a woman. She posted gym selfies with captions like, "Discipline is my love language," and "Earning my carbs 1 rep at a time." Ryan's behavior around Kayla was embarrassingly obvious. He'd time his workouts to match hers, offer unsolicited form corrections, take photos and videos of her perfect technique to show me what I should aspire to. See how Kayla keeps her core engaged during squats? That's the difference between someone who's serious and someone who's just going through the motions. Their workout sessions became performances. Ryan would load her barbell with weights, spot her during bench press, celebrate her personal records like they were his own achievements. Meanwhile, he'd criticize my form constantly. "Your knees are caving in. You're not going deep enough. Kayla doesn't need a rest between sets." I started noticing their Instagram stories were posted from the same location at the same times. Gym selfies at 6 a.m., protein shake photos at 7 a.m., post-workout meals at identical restaurants. When I mentioned this pattern, Ryan exploded. "This is exactly why you're not progressing. You're focused on drama instead of your goals. Kayla is dedicated. She understands the grind. Maybe if you spent less time being jealous and more time in the gym, you'd look like her." The cruelty was breathtaking. He was using another woman to make me feel inadequate, then blaming me for noticing. By month 10, my life had become unrecognizable. I was weighing myself twice a day on the scale Ryan had installed in my bathroom. He'd record the numbers in a spreadsheet alongside photos of everything I ate and detailed workout logs. "Data doesn't lie," he'd say when the numbers didn't drop fast enough. "Your body is giving you feedback. Are you listening?" He timed my cardio sessions with a stopwatch, literally standing there counting minutes like I was his personal client he was being paid to train. Rest days became interrogations. "Are you sure you're not just being lazy? Kayla hasn't taken a rest day in 6 weeks." The progress photos were weekly torture sessions. Sunday mornings, stripped down to underwear, posing in his bathroom under harsh lighting while he took dozens of shots. He'd zoom in on my stomach, my thighs, circling areas that needed work like I was a construction project. "We need to document the journey," he'd explained, but the photos were clearly designed to make me look worse, not better. Meanwhile, his own photo sessions were elaborate productions, 20 minutes of adjusting angles, testing different poses, editing with professional apps. His Instagram became a constant reminder of my inadequacy. Daily gym selfies with motivational captions, comments on other fitness influencers' posts, stories featuring other women's incredible transformations, but never a single like on any photo I posted. In 10 months of dating, he posted exactly one photo of us together, cropped to show only our faces. When I asked why he never posted full body shots of us, he said, "I keep my relationship private," while literally live streaming his workouts to 15,000 followers. Thanksgiving with his family was when I realized this wasn't just about fitness. It was about control. His mother, eyeing my plate like she was conducting a scientific study, said, "Ryan tells us you're working on yourself. Good for you, dear." His brother added, "Ryan's girlfriends always get in the best shape. He's like a personal trainer, but better because he actually cares about you." They talked about my body like I wasn't sitting right there, like I was a home renovation they were all invested in seeing completed. The conversation continued around me. before and after stories of Ryan's previous girlfriends, speculation about my potential, tips for staying motivated. Ryan's response when I expressed hurt later? They mean well. Besides, wouldn't you rather they care about your health than not care at all? Most families wouldn't even notice if you were taking care of yourself. He had this way of twisting every complaint into evidence of my oversensitivity. If I was hurt by his comments, I was too emotional. If I questioned his methods, I didn't want to improve. If I missed a workout, I was making excuses. Christmas was worse. Instead of jewelry or something personal, Ryan gave me a fitness tracker. This will help you optimize everything: your sleep, your steps, your heart rate, everything you need to reach your goals. I opened the box to find it already programmed with my information, complete with daily calorie goals that were barely above starvation level. He'd been researching my baseline metrics for weeks without telling me. I set it up based on your current stats and where you need to be. It'll remind you if you're not moving enough. The device became my electronic prison guard. It buzzed constantly for not hitting step goals, for eating past 7 p.m., for sleeping too much. Ryan would check my stats every morning, like reviewing a performance report. Only 8,000 steps yesterday? We need to work on that consistency. By month 8, something had fundamentally changed in Ryan. His workouts became longer, more intense. He was spending 3 hours at the gym daily, sometimes going twice. His body was getting bigger, more vascular, but so was his aggression. He denied using anything beyond natural supplements, but the signs were everywhere. His back was covered in painful-looking acne. His hair was noticeably thinning despite being only 30. His mood would swing from euphoric to rage within minutes over the smallest things. I found Viagra pills hidden in his supplement drawer, which he claims were natural testosterone boosters. His nightstand head would look like actual syringes, but he said they were B12 shots for energy. I'm just genetically gifted, he'd explain when people commented on his rapid muscle growth. Some people have it, some people don't. It's all about dedication and superior genetics. The drugs made everything worse. His already massive ego became astronomical. His daily Instagram stories increased from 3 to 4 to sometimes 15 posts. Every meal, every workout, every supplement, every random thought had to be documented and shared with his audience. He'd spend 30 minutes getting the perfect lighting for a single story about his morning protein shake, practicing different facial expressions in the mirror. His bathroom counter expanded to include a professional ring light specifically for selfies. But the scariest change was how he talked about women. What started as helpful observations about my body became open commentary about every woman we encountered. At restaurants, he'd grade other women's physiques out loud. She could be a 9 if she lost 10 pounds. Natural or implants? What do you think? She's letting herself go, probably has a boyfriend who doesn't motivate her. When I called him out, he'd turn it back on me. I'm just observant. This is how men think. Would you rather I lied to you about it? At least I'm honest about what I find attractive. Valentine's Day 2023 was when I finally saw him clearly. Instead of flowers or dinner, Ryan surprised me with a month of personal training sessions at his gym. This is what you really need, he said, handing me the gift certificate wrapped in pink paper like it was something romantic. This is an investment in your future, your best self. I stared at the gift certificate, feeling something inside me shatter. You don't think flowers would make me happy? I asked. Happiness is temporary. Results are forever. Plus, you've been saying you want to get in shape. I never said that. You've been saying I need to get in shape. His face hardened. there's that victim mentality again. I'm trying to give you something that will actually improve your life, and you're making me the bad guy. This is exactly why you're not progressing. You're focused on drama instead of goals. That night, I found myself crying in my bathroom at 2 a.m., Googling things like boyfriend ashamed of my body and is this emotional abuse? I was terrified of carbs, working out twice a day, weighing myself obsessively. I'd lost 15 pounds and he still wasn't satisfied. You're getting there, he'd say, pinching my waist like I was dough he was testing. Maybe 10 more pounds and you'll really turn heads. When I got the flu and couldn't work out for a week, Ryan's disgust was impossible to hide. You're using sickness as an excuse, he said while I had a 102-degree fever. Champions train through everything. Kayla wouldn't miss a week for a little cold. That same day, he posted an Instagram story with Kayla. Blessed to have a training partner who never makes excuses. Some people get it, some don't. Hashtag no excuses. Hashtag dedication over everything. I knew then. The message was crystal clear. I checked his phone that night while he slept, hands shaking with the fever and intuition. The messages with Kayla told the whole story. Kayla, your girlfriend seems sweet, but she doesn't really fit the aesthetic, you know? Ryan, she's a work in progress. I'm basically her life coach now, lol. Kayla, that's so much work though. You're like a saint for being so patient. Ryan, she doesn't understand the lifestyle. She's not built for this level of commitment, but I see potential. Kayla, you deserve someone on your level, someone who actually gets it. Ryan, facts. When are you free this week? My place. I need to discuss some training techniques with you. Kayla, I'm always free for you. Maybe I can show you some new stretching methods. But the group chat with his gym bros was even worse. Ryan, Lauren's improving, but still embarrassing at the gym. Thinking about upgrading. Kayla's been giving major signals. Mike, dude, just do it. Life's too short to date a project that isn't working out. Ryan, true. Plus, Kayla has that competitor mindset. Lauren cries if I correct her form, lol. Jake, why waste time with someone who doesn't inspire you to be better? You're carrying dead weight. Ryan, exactly. I need someone who motivates me, not someone I have to constantly fix. Reading those messages, I finally saw myself through his eyes. Not as a girlfriend he loved, but as a problem he was trying to solve. Not as a woman he cared about, but as a before photo in his personal success story. I confronted him the next morning when he returned from his 6 a.m. session. His response was like watching a master class in manipulation. You went through my phone? That's completely psycho behavior. This is exactly why I can't trust you. You're so insecure about your progress that you're creating problems where none exist. When I showed him screenshots of his own messages, he didn't even blink. You're taking everything out of context. Those guys don't understand our relationship. I was just venting because you've been so negative about your journey. I'm trying to help you become the best version of yourself, and you're making me the villain. Then came the words that finally shattered the spell completely. Honestly, you're lucky I stayed with you this long. Most guys who look like me wouldn't even consider dating someone at your fitness level. Do you see the women who throw themselves at me at the gym? I could have any of them, but I saw your potential. I believed in you more than you believed in yourself. Don't blame me because you lacked the discipline to reach it. And there it was, the truth he'd been hiding behind fake concern and expensive gifts. I wasn't his girlfriend. I was his charity case, his good deed, his proof that he was such a great guy, he'd even consider dating someone like me. I left that day while he was at his second gym session of the day. I packed methodically, feeling lighter with each item I removed from his space. I left a note on his bathroom mirror right next to his ring light and protein powder collection.
I'm finally choosing to be healthy by removing the toxic waste from my life. Enjoy your mirrors." The text started before I even got home. "You're completely overreacting. No one will want you at that size. I was trying to help you reach your potential. You'll never find someone who cares about your health like I do. Good luck dating with that body. You'll be back when you realize what you lost. I made you better, and this is how you repay me?" Each message confirmed what I'd suspected. This was never about love or health. It was about his need to feel superior by making me feel inferior. The message that changed everything came from Kayla, 3 months after I'd blocked Ryan completely. "Hey Lauren, I owe you a huge apology. I was young and stupid and believed his lies about you. Now I'm living your exact nightmare. He told me I'm getting cellulite and I weigh 110 pounds. He times my cardio with a literal stopwatch. He made me quit my part-time job because sitting makes you soft. I'm developing an eating disorder and I don't know how to get out. How did you escape?" We met for coffee at a small place in Lincoln Park. Kayla looked nothing like her Instagram photos. Her skin was dull and broken out. Her hair was thin and brittle. Her hands shook slightly when she lifted her coffee cup. Black coffee, no cream, because Ryan had convinced her that dairy caused inflammation. "He said you were jealous of our connection," she whispered, looking around like he might appear. "That you couldn't handle dating someone who demanded excellence. He showed me photos of you after you guys broke up and said you'd completely let yourself go without his guidance." The manipulation was identical, word for word. Ryan had used the same script, the same techniques, the same systematic destruction of self-worth. Kayla showed me recent messages where he criticized her declining muscle definition and suggested she needed more commitment to the lifestyle. "I thought I was special," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I thought I was different from his exes, but he's making me track my body fat percentage daily. He schedules my periods around competition prep. He chooses my friends based on whether they're fitness motivated. I don't even know who I am anymore." That's when we decided to expose him. Kayla had the platform, and I had the receipts. Together, we crafted an Instagram post that would change everything. PSA: at Ryan Fitzgerald Fit is not a fitness inspiration. He's a predator who uses health as a weapon. He dates women to break them down, not build them up. These are real messages he sent us. Swipe to see how supportive he really is. Hashtag toxic fitness culture. Hashtag narcissistic abuse. Hashtag body shaming. The screenshots were devastating. Messages where he called me too soft for his brand. Messages where he told Kayla she was losing her competitive edge. Messages where he rated our bodies like we were products he was reviewing. The post exploded. Within 6 hours, it had 50,000 likes and thousands of shares. The comments section became a survivor support group as woman after woman shared their own stories. Then Jessica, his ex who'd recovered from her eating disorder, commented with her own experience. "This man told me I looked puffy when I weighed 95 pounds. He destroyed my relationship with food and my own body. Thank you for your courage in speaking out." 3 more women emerged over the following days, each with nearly identical stories. The pattern was undeniable and absolutely chilling. Sarah dated him 2020 to 2021. He made me meal prep for both of us, but gave me child-sized portions while he ate twice as much. When I said I was hungry, he'd say I was confusing emotions with appetite. Maria dated him 2019. He told me my career success was making me too masculine and that I needed to focus more on my feminine energy through fitness. He isolated me from friends who didn't understand the lifestyle.
Beth, dated him 2018. He said my antidepressants were making me gain weight and that I should try natural mood boosters like exercise instead. He threw out my medication without telling me. The response was overwhelming. Women shared screenshots of similar messages from other fitness-obsessed boyfriends. Personal trainers came forward with stories of clients whose partners monitored their sessions. The toxic underbelly of fitness culture was finally being exposed. Ryan's response to the viral post was exactly what you'd expect from someone whose entire identity was built on a carefully crafted image. He posted a series of increasingly unhinged Instagram stories.
These bitter women can't handle that I demand excellence. I help them become their best selves, and this is how they repay me. Cancel culture at its finest. I have screenshots too. Wait until you see how these women really acted behind closed doors. Lazy, entitled, ungrateful. My lawyer says this is defamation. Enjoy the lawsuit, ladies. I have documentation of everything. But his followers weren't buying it. The comments on every post were brutal. We see you for what you are now. How many women have to speak out before you admit you have a problem? Your fake apology tour starts in 3, 2, 1. Imagine thinking you can abuse women and then play victim. His carefully cultivated follower count plummeted from 15,000 to 2,000 within weeks. Brands quietly removed his sponsored content. The supplement company that had featured him in ads scrubbed his photos from their website. But the real consequences hit where it hurt most, his precious gym kingdom. Pure Fitness revoked his membership after multiple complaints from women who recognized him from our post. 2 other gyms in the area banned him preemptively. His work life imploded too. Female coworkers at his investment firm came forward with stories of inappropriate comments about their bodies during office events. HR launched an investigation that ultimately led to his termination. The best karma came from Ryan's own choices. The steroids he'd been using for over a year caused severe health problems when he tried to cycle off after all the negative publicity. His hair loss accelerated dramatically, the acne became infected and scarring. Most devastating for someone whose entire identity was built on physical appearance, his testosterone crashed without the artificial enhancement. His muscle mass dropped rapidly, his energy plummeted, and his mood became severely depressed. A mutual acquaintance told me he'd been kicked out of 2 more gyms for aggressive behavior. He'd screamed at a teenage employee for not re-racking weights properly. He'd gotten into a physical altercation with another member who allegedly looked at him wrong. The chemical-induced confidence that had made him feel invincible was revealed as exactly that, artificial. Without the steroids, Ryan was forced to confront his actual feelings, the childhood trauma he'd never processed, the deep insecurity he'd covered with muscle and cruelty. His post-crash Instagram was a sad shadow of his former performance. The daily gym selfies stopped. The motivational quotes became increasingly desperate attempts to maintain relevance. His remaining followers could see through the facade. Ryan tried to contact me 6 months after our breakup with an email that showed he'd learned nothing except how to weaponize therapy speak. Lauren, I've been doing deep inner work and soul searching. I realize now that I was operating from a place of childhood trauma and projecting my insecurities onto our relationship. I understand that my passion for health and fitness might have come across as controlling rather than caring. I miss the connection we had, and I'd love the chance to show you how much I've evolved. Therapy has taught me that true strength comes from emotional vulnerability, not physical perfection. You were always enough, and I was too broken to see it. I hope we can have a conversation. Every word was calculated to sound evolved while taking zero real responsibility. might have come across as controlling instead of I was abusive, operating from trauma instead of I chose to hurt you. You were always enough while still not acknowledging that he'd spent 2 years telling me I wasn't. I didn't respond, but curiosity made me check his public social media. The transformation was predictable. He'd found a new way to get narcissistic supply. The fitness posts were gone, replaced with inspirational quotes about inner growth and healing journey. Photos of sunsets with captions like, "The real transformation happens inside," and "Grateful for my dark night of the soul." His bio now read, "Transformational coach, mental health advocate, learning every day." Same narcissist, new costume. He'd simply rebranded his need for attention and admiration. The reformed bad boy who'd seen the light was just another character he was playing for validation. His remaining followers weren't fooled. The comments on every post were women warning each other, sharing their own experiences, calling out his fake accountability tour. While Ryan was performing enlightenment for social media, Kayla was doing the actual work of recovery. She'd started therapy, left the fitness competition world, and slowly rebuilt her relationship with food and exercise. Her Instagram transformation was remarkable, not because her body changed, but because her captions did. Instead of thinspo and workout videos, she shared real photos, bloated after meals, without makeup, during rest days. Her honesty about the psychological damage of pursuing physical perfection created a community of women healing from similar experiences. I used to think self-worth came from how small I could make myself. Now I'm learning it comes from how big I can let my life become. She posted 6 months later. Kayla gained 20 pounds during recovery and had never looked more beautiful. The haunted look in her eyes was gone, replaced with genuine confidence that didn't require constant validation. Kayla taught me that my value was in my appearance. She told me during one of our regular coffee dates, "Recovery taught me that my value is in my humanity." We became unlikely friends, bonded by surviving the same predator, but also by our commitment to helping other women recognize the signs we'd missed.
A year after leaving Ryan, I finally understood what actual transformation means. It's not about before and after photos or fitting into smaller clothes. It's about reclaiming your sense of self from someone who tried to rewrite your entire story. I'm still a size 12. Sometimes I'm a 10, sometimes I'm a 14, depending on the season, my stress levels, whether Mercury is in retrograde. Kidding about that last one, but you get the point. The difference is that I don't see my worth tied to those numbers anymore. I exercise because it feels good, not because I'm trying to earn love. I eat pasta without photographing it for approval. I take mirror selfies where I actually smile instead of critiquing every angle. I threw away his scale and bought a plant for that corner of my bathroom instead. Dating again was terrifying at first. I'd analyze every man for signs of Ryan's toxicity. But I also learned what genuine attraction actually feels like when it's not tied to your potential for change. I met David through a hiking group. He's never commented on my body except to express amazement at what it can do. When I told him about Ryan, his response was simple. "I'm sorry someone made you feel like you weren't enough. You're incredible exactly as you are." David works out, but it's just exercise to him, not identity. He doesn't post gym selfies or time my activities. When we exercise together, it's because we both enjoy it, not because he's monitoring my progress. Most importantly, David has never once suggested I need to change anything about myself. When I gained weight during a stressful work project, his only comment was, "How can I support you through this?" Our viral post created conversations that went beyond just Ryan. Women started sharing their own experiences with men who used health concern to justify controlling behavior. The comments revealed an epidemic of disguised abuse. My ex made me send him photos of every meal. He said my depression was caused by being out of shape. He told me I was getting fat at size 4. He made me weigh myself in front of him every morning. He chose my workout clothes based on how motivating they'd be. He said if I really loved him, I'd want to be the best version of myself. The pattern was everywhere once you knew how to see it. Fitness culture had created the perfect cover for emotional abuse. Who can argue with wanting your partner to be healthy? But there's a difference between support and control. Support, I love hiking with you. Want to try that new trail this weekend? Control, you'd feel so much better about yourself if you just got more cardio. Support, you look beautiful today. Control, you have so much potential if you just applied yourself. Support, loving your partner's body as it is. Control, I just want what's best for you, while defining what that means. Through the Instagram post, I connected with dozens of women who'd survived similar relationships. We created a private group chat that became my lifeline during the hardest days of recovery. These women understood things my family and friends couldn't. They knew what it felt like to have someone you loved systematically destroy your self-image while claiming to care about you. They understood the shame of staying so long, the confusion of missing someone who hurt you, the difficulty of trusting your own judgment again. He used to say I was wasting my genetics by not being lean enough, shared Amanda from our group. I'm 5'10" and was a size 8, but he convinced me I was obese. I started taking diet pills and barely eating. When I fainted at work, he said it was because I wasn't fat adapted yet. Mine would post thirst trap photos while telling me I was too attention-seeking if I wore anything remotely fitted. He needed constant validation from other women, but called me insecure for noticing. We learned that Ryan wasn't unique. There's an entire subset of men who use fitness culture to justify emotional abuse. They hide behind concern for health while systematically destroying their partner's mental health. 6 months after blocking Ryan, I walked past Pure Fitness on my way to a work lunch. Through the window, I saw him training alone. No Kayla, no admirers, no gym crew hyping him up, just him and his reflection in the mirrors. He looked smaller somehow, despite still having muscles. Maybe because I finally saw him for what he really was. A scared little boy who never dealt with his trauma, taking it out on women's bodies because he couldn't face his own pain. My life had completely changed, but not in the way Ryan had promised it would. I wasn't smaller or more optimized. I was bigger. My social circle had expanded, my confidence had grown, my world had opened up beyond his narrow definition of worth. I started dating again, slowly and carefully. I learned to listen for certain phrases that sent up red flags. You'd be perfect if you just... I can help you reach your potential. My ex used to... Most women don't understand. I'm just being honest. I also learned what healthy attraction actually sounds like. I love your laugh. You're so smart. I admire your ambition. You make me want to be better, without specifying physical changes. I feel lucky to know you. Jessica, his first victim that I knew about, started a blog about eating disorder recovery specifically related to intimate partner abuse. Her writing helped me understand that my disordered relationship with food wasn't a personal failing. It was a trauma response to systematic psychological abuse.
He didn't just criticize my body, Jessica wrote in one particularly powerful post. He criticized my hunger. He made me feel like wanting food was a moral failing. He taught me that my natural appetite was wrong. that my body's signals couldn't be trusted, that I needed his external control to manage my own basic needs. Maria, the lawyer who dated Ryan before me, shared how he'd tried to convince her that her career success was too masculine and that she needed to focus more on her feminine energy through fitness and appearance. He said powerful women intimidated men, and that if I wanted a relationship, I needed to soften my edges. She wrote in a LinkedIn post that got thousands of reactions. He made me believe that my professional achievements meant nothing if I wasn't also physically perfect. Each story revealed another layer of Ryan's manipulation tactics. He'd study each woman's insecurities and exploit them ruthlessly. Career-focused women were told they were too masculine. Naturally curvy women were told they were too soft. Confident women were gradually made to doubt every instinct. Our collective speaking out created ripple effects throughout Chicago's fitness community. Other women started sharing their own experiences with trainers, gym members, and fitness-focused boyfriends who used health as a weapon. Pure Fitness, the gym where Ryan had reigned supreme, implemented new policies about harassment and created a code of conduct specifically addressing body shaming. Several trainers who'd enabled Ryan's behavior were quietly let go. We realize now that what we thought was motivational coaching was actually systematic emotional abuse, the gym manager told a local news station that picked up our story. Fitness should build people up, not tear them down. Other gyms started training staff to recognize signs of abuse disguised as fitness motivation. The conversation expanded beyond romantic relationships to include toxic trainer-client dynamics and the general culture of body shaming in fitness spaces. Unable to maintain his fitness influencer persona, Ryan pivoted to wellness coaching, posting inspirational quotes about mental health and emotional growth. But his content revealed the same narcissistic patterns, just with different vocabulary. "The universe brought me to my knees to teach me humility," he posted alongside a sunset photo. "Sometimes we have to lose everything to find our true selves." He started following trends in male mental health advocacy, posting about toxic masculinity and emotional intelligence, buzzwords he'd learned in therapy but clearly didn't understand. Every post was still about him, his journey, his growth, his wisdom gained through suffering. The comment section of his reinvention posts became a graveyard of women warning others. "Don't fall for this act. He did the same thing to me. This is just his new manipulation strategy. A leopard doesn't change its spots. It just gets better at hiding them. Ask his ex-girlfriends what they think of his growth." His attempted a podcast called From Broken to Breakthrough lasted 3 episodes before being review bombed by survivors of his abuse. His dreams of becoming a transformation coach died when background checks revealed the harassment complaints and social media exposés. 8 months after our breakup, Ryan showed up at my office building. Security called me down because he was causing a scene in the lobby, demanding to see me about urgent personal business. He looked rough. The hair loss was severe and patchy. His skin was broken out and scarred from the steroid acne. He'd lost significant muscle mass and looked almost gaunt. But worse was that desperate energy, that frantic need for attention that had once been disguised as confidence. "Lauren, please, just 5 minutes. I need you to understand how much I've changed. I've been in therapy. I know I hurt you, but I was hurt too. We were both damaged people who brought out the worst in each other." Even in his apology, he couldn't help but blame me. We both hurt each other, brought out the worst in each other. Never just, "I was wrong, I hurt you, I'm sorry. I agreed to speak with him in the lobby, with security watching. His transformation speech was perfectly crafted. My childhood trauma made me controlling. I was trying to protect you from the pain I experienced being overweight, but I went about it completely wrong. You made me want to be a better man. I know I can prove to you that I've changed. We had something special. You can't just throw that away. I listened to his whole performance, then said something that surprised even me. Ryan, I hope you do get help, but not so you can get me back or find another woman to fix. I hope you get help so you can stop seeing people as projects. What you did to me, to Jessica, to Kayla, that wasn't love, that was ownership, and people aren't possessions to be improved. His face went through several changes: confusion, anger, then that familiar calculating look I remembered so well. "You've become really bitter," he said finally. "I'm trying to take accountability, and you're still playing victim. This is exactly why our relationship didn't work. You could never accept love when it was offered."
Even in his so-called apology, he couldn't resist one final manipulation. I was still the problem. I was still the one who couldn't appreciate his love. I walked away without another word. A year after leaving Ryan, I can finally see the whole picture clearly. He wasn't just a bad boyfriend or someone with commitment issues. He was a textbook narcissist who used fitness culture to justify systematic emotional abuse. The scary thing is how normal it all seemed while it was happening. He never hit me, never called me names, never even raised his voice much. Instead, he slowly convinced me that my own body was the enemy, that my natural appetite was wrong, that my instincts couldn't be trusted. That's the insidious nature of this kind of abuse. It masquerades as care. I just want you to be healthy. I'm trying to help you reach your potential. I love you too much to let you settle for mediocrity. But love doesn't require you to change your body to earn it. Love doesn't monitor your food intake or time your workouts. Love doesn't compare you to other women or make you feel ashamed of your natural state. Real love says, "You're perfect as you are, and I support whatever makes you happy." Fake love says, "You're perfect, but you could be even more perfect if you just..." The most beautiful part of this whole nightmare was how it connected me with incredible women who became my chosen family. Jessica, Kayla, Maria, Sarah, Beth, and dozens of others from our Instagram community. We meet monthly now, sometimes in person, sometimes virtually. We call ourselves the Survivors Club, though we're so much more than that. We're women who refuse to let one man's damage define us, who chose to transform our pain into power for other women. Jessica started a nonprofit focused on helping women recover from fitness-related eating disorders. Jessica went back to school for psychology, specializing in body image therapy. Maria left her law firm to work on domestic violence cases. Sarah became a nutritionist who works specifically with eating disorder recovery. We turned our trauma into purpose, our pain into protection for other women. I'm writing this story exactly 1 year and 6 months after I walked out of Ryan's apartment for the last time. I'm sitting in my own place now, a bright 1-bedroom in Logan Square with exactly 0 scales and mirrors that show my whole face, not just my abs. I still work out, but for joy, not punishment. I take long walks along the lakefront, listening to podcasts about things that interest me, not fitness tips. I do yoga in my living room, wearing comfortable clothes that don't match, but make me feel good.
I eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. I have pizza on Fridays sometimes, pasta whenever I want it, and ice cream without calculating how many burpees it'll cost me. My body is larger than it was during my lowest weight with Ryan, and I've never felt more beautiful. Most importantly, I trust myself again. When something feels wrong, I don't gaslight myself into thinking I'm being too sensitive. When someone makes me feel small, I make myself bigger by walking away. I'm not a transformation story. I'm not a before and after. I'm a woman who learned that the only approval I need is my own. And that took me 29 years to figure out because I spent 2 of them with someone who convinced me otherwise. If you're reading this and something feels familiar, here's what I wish someone had told me. Watch for these patterns. Your partner monitors your food intake or exercise without being asked. They say things like, "Are you sure you want to eat that?" while consuming whatever they want. They compare you to other women, especially their exes. Sarah used to meal prep every Sunday. My ex understood the importance of staying in shape. These comparisons are intentional weapons. They take photos of you that make you look worse, not better. Progress photos with bad lighting, unflattering angles, focus on your problem areas. Meanwhile, their own photos are perfectly lit and edited. They're embarrassed to be seen with you in public, especially around attractive people. They'll pretend not to know you or make excuses to avoid being photographed together. They use health to justify controlling behavior, throwing out your food, timing your workouts, weighing you regularly, deciding what you should eat. They gaslight you when you express hurt. "You're being too sensitive. I'm just trying to help. You're creating drama where none exists." They love bomb you after criticism, expensive gifts or special treatment right after making you feel terrible about yourself. Most importantly, trust your gut. If someone claims to love you while consistently making you feel bad about yourself, that's not love. That's control.
To the women still living this, if you're currently in a relationship where someone is trying to improve you, especially your body, please hear me. You are not a project. You are not a before photo waiting to become an after. You are a complete human being deserving of love exactly as you are right now. The person who truly loves you will never make you feel like you need to earn their affection through physical changes. They won't monitor your food or time your workouts or compare you to other women. They won't be embarrassed to be seen with you or post photos of you only if you meet their standards. You don't need to be smaller to deserve love. You don't need to be more disciplined or more dedicated or more anything. You need to be yourself fully and unapologetically. I know your ego won't let you admit it, but I hope somewhere in that carefully constructed facade, you know that all the muscle in the world couldn't make up for your weak character. You're right about one thing, though. Discipline does equal freedom, and the discipline to leave you gave me freedom I never knew existed. I'm not angry anymore. I'm grateful. You showed me exactly what I don't want in a partner, exactly what I'll never tolerate again, exactly how strong I actually am. Your downfall wasn't my revenge. It was your own choices catching up with you. The steroids, the lies, the pattern of hurting women who trusted you. Karma didn't need my help. I'm Lauren Mitchell. I'm 29 years old. I'm a size 12. I'm healthy, happy, and whole. And I'm finally free from the man who tried to convince me I was never enough. The truth? I was always more than enough. He was the one who was lacking in empathy, in genuine connection, in basic human decency. No amount of protein shakes or gym selfies could fill that void. Ladies, if your partner makes you feel like your body is a problem to be solved rather than a home to be cherished, run, don't walk.
The walking is great exercise if you do it to get away from toxic men. Your body is exactly right, exactly as it is, right now. The only thing that needs to change is your tolerance for people who tell you otherwise. I'm not a transformation story. I'm not a success story. I'm just a woman who learned that the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. And that relationship should never require you to be smaller, quieter, or less than you are to maintain it. 6 months ago, Ryan tried to make me disappear in that gym, to become invisible next to his perfect fitness models. Today, I've never felt more visible, more present, more unapologetically myself. And that's worth more than any six-pack could ever be. The gym where Ryan said I'd embarrass him, I walked past it yesterday. Through the window, I saw him training alone. No Kayla, no admirers, no gym crew. Just him and his reflection. 7 mirrors reflecting back the emptiness that no amount of muscle could ever fill. He looked smaller somehow. Maybe because I finally see him for what he really is. And I finally see myself for what I've always been. Enough.
And so, this story comes to an end, but the pain it carries is real and lasting. Behind his mask, there may be charm, but also lies, manipulation, and silence. If you've experienced something similar, please don't hesitate to share it in the comments below or send it to us directly. Your story matters. Your truth matters. And your voice might be the one that saves someone else from falling into the same trap. Together we break the silence. Together we unmask the lies. And together we rise stronger